Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into the Pet Expo YouTube channel. This is Barry, and we got some really cool lizards in today. The first ones that we're looking at here are fire skinks. These guys are a smaller skink species, make a wonderful pet, but about a 20 long to a 40 gallon tank would be plenty for these guys. And they are a little bit cooler temperatures compared to some of the other skink species, but as you see, we'll grab the larger one here. Very friendly and very, very bright colored animals. They are burrowers, so if you do provide them a little bit deeper bedding, they will disappear quite quickly into that. The next ones we got in are Brazilian rainbow boas. Very beautiful snakes. Not a whole lot of color right now, but as they mature, they will turn that nice red coloration. Next ones are our T-positive sun glow boas. Really nice coloration on these guys. They just shipped in once again, so in the containers still. But those guys will turn a bright orange coloration. Next off, our New Caledonian crested geckos. These guys are great pets, very easy to care for, and a great starter lizard for almost anyone, because at full size you can keep them in an inverted 10-gallon tank with little to no problem. And they do have prepared foods for those guys, so very, once again, easy to take care of. The next ones we're going to take a peek at are little Sulcata tortoises. These guys are one of the larger land tortoises, so be prepared in the next couple years if you are planning on getting one of these guys for how big they are going to get. Sanctioning off a small room for these guys would be optimal just for how large they get. They are strict herbivores, so make sure to feed them a lot of dry vegetables because they are desert animals and not a lot of wet. Even though they do prefer the wet food, you do want to feed them a lot of dry just so they don't get loose stools. Next ones, everyone's favorite and one of the easiest lizards to take care of are your bearded dragons. These Australian lizards get anywhere from 24 to 30 inches full grown if you do the snout to venter to tail. These guys are our common bearded dragons. So very pretty. These guys are omnivores. Lots of crickets when they're small, and then they kind of switch over to more of, once again, vegetable and fruit as they get older, but definitely offer it when they're young. Also, they will eat that up with little to no issues. Our next ones are our hypo beardies. These guys are a really pretty red coloration. It's kind of greening out, so we'll pop this guy up here. And you can see that nice coloration coming in. So as these guys age, they will just get more and more color. And if you look at their nails, you can see how they're nice and clear. But these guys, once again, easy to handle, love being handled by anybody, so good for kids. Usually will cling right onto you. And full grown, about a 40 to a 75 gallon tank is what we recommend. Next ones that we'll look at here, we're going to move over our last covered tank here. But these guys are our Chinese water dragons. These guys are little at the moment, but they will get about 2 foot long. A boreal type lizard, very handleable also. Very mellow animals. They are an insectivore, so lots of crickets, cockroaches, but they do prefer a lot of areas to climb. So make sure that you give them plenty of tree and branches and leaves to climb on, and then try to keep them pretty moist or higher humidity. You can provide moss in half the environment or on top of your soil to help keep that humidity up, to help with shedding. You can see this guy would definitely enjoy that because of he's got some retained skin that we'll take care of a little bit later. And he's being really cleaning me right now, and then of course takes right off. What we saved one of my favorites for last, covering him up so he takes a nice little break before we bring him out. But it is our black roughneck monitor. These guys are a very mellow monitor, as you can see, not trying to run away, not trying to claw. Very cuddly animal. Stays smaller than most of your savannas, so about 4 to 4.5 foot long. but you can see why they call him a roughneck here. We'll focus in on that. He's got a very rough back area. These guys are also able to be tree monitors, so provide a lot of climbing space. Minimum enclosure is what I'd start out with, is at least a 40 to a 75 gallon tank, and then when he gets full grown, looking at somewhere in the 180 to 220. Otherwise a DIY cage. We're gonna let him walk back in there. He was real comfortable in that cage. But if you have any further questions at all on any of the reptiles that came in today, please give us a call at 507-625-2505. This is Barry from the Pet Expo YouTube channel in Mankato, Minnesota.